Thanks to Jersey Sports Zone, and Volpe makes almost the identical play.
At home, they call me Big Al, and I hit dingers.
Remember that young man, Big Al?
The Minnesota Lynx select Diamond Miller.
Video courtesy of Jersey Sports Zone.
It's an incredible goal, so that's nice. It's deserved the number one.
You got my food.
Number 2, New Jersey high school football.
Here on Jersey Sports Zone.
It's episode 24 of Jersey Sports Zone's Beyond the Score podcast. My name is Rich Krampanis, and once again, we will take you through another exciting week of New Jersey high school sports. The Beyond the Score podcast is brought to you each and every week by RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together. Coming up on this week's show, our owner, Dale Florio. He had so much fun doing the rundown a couple of weeks ago. He's back again to talk more New Jersey high school sports. We'll also focus a lot on some alumni doing great things. We're going to talk about the NFL Draft Combine, and what a weekend of college baseball. Some names that are very familiar to all of us stepped up on the diamond and did some pretty incredible things. So we're going to talk about all that. Plus, we'll give you a little taste of what's to come with the section championships on Friday and Saturday in basketball and the hockey state semifinals set for Thursday. And before you know it, this time next week, we'll have crowned hockey state champions, and we'll gear up for Atlantic City and Rutgers happening at the same time. When we come back, a great conversation with one of the most respected coaches in America. She has led the St. John Vianney Lancers to so many state titles and shore conference titles throughout her decorated career. She was the McDonald's All-American Game coach a year ago. Dawn Karpell from St. John Vianney talks about the program that she has built and gets us ready for one of the most exciting brackets in all of America. That's non-public A girls basketball. We'll talk with Coach Karpell when we return.
On the ice, you train to avoid getting checked. But in life, getting checked is the smart thing to do. By scheduling regular doctor visits and screenings. Don't let joint pain, heart disease, or cancer go unchecked.
Get checked.
Max Prep says that the second toughest tournament in America is non-public A. And I think our guests would definitely agree. The head coach of the Lady Lancers, St. John Vianney, Dawn Karpell, one of the best coaches in America. Coach, thanks for taking some time here in the middle of an intense week for you. I just thought it was important for us to talk about what I think is an incredible time for New Jersey girls basketball, and you're right in the middle of it.
Yeah, I mean, on the high school front, just what's in front of us. You know, we signed up for a date with Paul VI on Thursday. They ended our season last year in an overtime loss, so you know, I think the girls are excited to have that opportunity, you know, and hopefully if we can get through that, round 4 with Red Bank Catholic is on the horizon. So, you know, one day at a time, one game at a time when we get to this time of year. But, you know, our girls are really excited to kind of go out, especially my senior group.
How do you keep these kids at such an extraordinary level? Feel like a lot of the kids that you have, they're kind of wired that way. I think it takes a special kind of kid to play in a program like yours. At this time of the year, are they pretty much locked in, or are you going to have to kind of wrangle them in and get them going?
Not at all. We are locked in. I mean, you know, my senior group is challenged at the beginning of the year. Because they've yet to kind of finish some things off as far as the state tournament is concerned. So they kind of well know what's in front of them, and I have their full attention. And you know what? Your best teams are led by seniors. You know what I mean? It's not me anymore. It comes from them and what they bring to practice, and the underclassmen are following them in a great way.
Coach, the wins and losses, the state titles, all the shore conferences, they speak for themselves. The thing that I talk about when I talk to people outside of the state about St. John Vianney girls basketball is I've never seen a high school program that prepares young ladies for Division I basketball like yours. When you consider things like on our end for all state and all area and things like that, I say do not. Our younger journalists, I said, don't go into the stats
Yeah.
of
No.
St. John Vianney.
No.
This is a program that is built like a college basketball program, and then these kids go and oftentimes maybe get even better stats in college than they do in high school, which is amazing, isn't it?
I mean, like, and look at Ashley Sofakanich, came in off the bench until her senior year, and now is a starter at Michigan, the 6th ranked team in the country. Like, that's, that's just how our program is set up. Everybody buys into their role, buys into like what we need them to do. And secondly, like, our coaches are amazing, and like, we don't accept mediocrity. So like, that might even translate, and you're going to get away with that now on a high school level. But no, that is not good enough when you go to the next level. And I'm going to challenge you every single day on that. So that way we build those habits out to just send them off to that next level, developed to be able to handle that.
When Division I coaches approach you, I have to think it's almost like it's almost like a shortcut. I know that a lot of coaches know about the Vianney program, but to me, it's just like, hey, if you need someone that's ready to go,
Yeah.
this is the place to go. What do you talk to with coaches about specifically when they're evaluating your talent? And I've got to think that I think the other thing that you do so well is you seem to find the right fit for
Yeah.
your players with a particular system at the Division I level.
Yeah, I think it is about the fit. So like when we talk recruiting with coaches, I speak to like what that player's strengths are, even as a high school kid, what their weaknesses are, what they're going to have to grow out when they get to them, but also what their strengths are. And the other part is our kids, as you said, like at the beginning, aren't stat driven. They're role driven, right? Like, hey, they're going to come in and you're going to ask them to do this, and they already know how to do that because they were asked to do that in high school. So they're not going to come in and have to be taking 30 shots to get that. Like, no, like they're going to make the pass because they know that's the right basketball play. So those are also things that you don't have to worry about when you get kids out of our program.
It really is amazing, and I think for you, you've got a couple of weeks here of grinding, and then I think you get to maybe have the most fun of any college basketball fan because it's almost a guarantee we're going to have a bunch of St. John Vianney players in the NCAA tournament, good Lord willing, including your daughter at Fairfield. Julia, again, you want to talk about a great fit. When she committed and signed with Fairfield, it was this up and coming program, and now all of a sudden here we are. We see Fairfield in the top 25. Absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, go to Shooters U, Jules, right? She loves to shoot. And then when she gets in there, that's what she does. It's amazing for her. She got to go last year. We went to Kentucky, my husband and I, to see her like in the tournament. 2 years ago, I flew down to the ACC final to watch Zoe Brooks play against Hannah Hildago. And so I was trying to figure out how to get out to Iowa because we had Meg at Holy Cross and Janie playing. Maddie St. Rose was out there with Princeton. So like it just gets to be like a really fun time of year to see these kids' dreams, right? Their goals of like, this is what we're going to do kind of come true. It's so much fun.
It really is. And when you talk about the alumni right now, Zoe Brooks, to me, you and I aren't surprised, but the whole country has figured out what a special player she is. And, for her to get to a Final Four at a young age and now to see her, front and center in a league that is so stellar, it's got to just put a smile to your face just knowing that the levels that she was such a high level as a high school player and to see her grow. And what a great young lady she is. I can remember her being a little nervous on the mics, and every time I message her here and there, she's so good on interviews now. She's
Oh my
she's a
God.
seasoned pro.
Yes, how much has she grown on the court, off the court? I think, this talent and the skill was always there, but now this year, right? Like they graduated a lot. I keep texting her, just keep being a leader, Zoe. Keep being a leader, like, because that was like something that she had to take on this year as a junior. She's an all-conference player, but now she's got to lead, right? Like now she's got to, and that team has so much talent and a great coach. So I'm excited. I think they're gonna like really get into that tournament and make some noise because they have that ability, her team.
I think the other big headline dropped yesterday is Maddie St. Rose going into the transfer portal. Uh, she will not have problem finding a new home. Her resilience coming back from the torn ACL, again, just another high quality person, and the basketball matches that quality. I could imagine that her phone is blowing up. I know she's got a do not contact, so maybe she knows where she's going. But
No.
what a great get is going to be transferring from Princeton and her Ivy League career to the next step.
Yeah, last year when unfortunately she got hurt, the thing I sent her was like, Maddie, there's no good thing about this except that you did it so early right into her junior year that she was going to get the extra year. So I said, just work hard, get to this recovery. She's done an amazing job. She was up with us a little bit in the summer. She was down at Princeton every day, but she was up working camps and doing stuff with us. And like her character, we knew she was going to come back. And yeah, to be honest, there was schools that knew she had the extra year. There's people reaching out to me in November, like, hey, what's Maddie going to be looking to do? And so she kind of had a plan going in on like how we were going to kind of approach this, but I think she's going to have a lot of great opportunities to go land and play a fifth year someplace.
Coach, I know you're hyper focused on the state tournament, but that won't be the end of the road for St. John Vianney. You're playing in the Throne tournament at the American Dream Mall, chance to play in a national setting. Tell me how that came to be and what an opportunity for you to close out the season in a national showcase that tournament is starting to get some good legs to it.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's sponsored by the NBA and the WNBA Players Association. So like they one of the components of it is that they're going to bring the kids in and give them some classes on just economics and NIL and like, like kind of the whole business behind what they're going into. So I thought that was a really cool part of it. And to be one of the 8 schools invited throughout the country to be on this platform was really like a no-brainer and a great honor. Unfortunately, due to our state rules, like, we're going to have some substitute coaches in there to lead the girls, but we're excited about the opportunity, and I'm excited for the girls just to have another chance to like go out and just have a good time on this national stage.
That's something that needs to be changed, Coach. On a national level, I know you probably can't say anything because it's talking to school, but you need to be there. And I don't know. We can maybe set up some technology. I can get the suit on and
Speak it in, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
You just tell me what to do and I'll just parrot it.
Yeah.
I'd like to get a couple W's as St. John Vianney's coach, but that is tremendous. When I was at Monmouth University and I looked up and saw that arena filled to the top of the gills. I know it wasn't the result you wanted, but
No.
from the bigger picture, I feel like with your program and Coach Montano's at RBC, it was a sign of respect of where the girls' game is in New Jersey. I think the first time I really saw it was when you guys upset Lou High and the gym was packed and it was the right size of a gym. You guys should be playing in front of packed houses every day. The one thing that haunts me more than anything is I try to promote girls sports is we don't have the same numbers and when we shoot a guys game, and that goes with soccer, basketball, anything. I think
Zoe Brooks beating Hannah Hidalgo on one-leg buzzer beater should have 500,000 views on Jersey Sports Zone, and it's probably got about 5,000.
Right.
So when you see that, though, the game's in a good place, thanks in large part to what you and a lot of the great coaches in this state are doing. Do you see it in a good place right now?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like, and honestly, like the RBC SJV rivalry when we're both, 1-2 and running that. Obviously I grew up playing in the rivalry. It started in the mid-90s. It hit its peak. I can remember when I started playing the short conference and the boys and girls were at Brick Memorial, and they moved the girls to on their own because we were selling out then, and now Monmouth University is an unbelievable venue for these kids, and now you get, instead of a couple thousand, you're getting 5,000 people in there. I just think like it for a high school girl, like it's an unbelievable experience, regardless of the outcome, but just to be in that moment and to like be on that stage and that platform, the girls deserve it. They work hard, they've earned it. They put the time in, and they just want to be treated like athletes and respected like athletes. And when the girls get that platform, look at what we can do, and look at the results of what they're doing on that platform.
It was an extraordinary look. All three games have been an extraordinarily level of basketball. It really has. It's a treat to watch. It's why we prioritize it. Perhaps
that.
I've been talking too much SJV RBC, but I think it's something that 10 or 15 years from now, people are going to look back on this incredible rivalry. Two teams from the short conference, nationally ranked. I think it's great. So I think the other thing too is, as someone in your stature, the way you promote the girls' game, coming on and talking to me a couple days before a massive game is just, you're setting a standard for all the other coaches of how to grow this game and continue to keep it where it is. So I just want to thank you for the time. I always enjoy talking with you. We're both so busy, we don't get to talk like this. So I think we got to make this an annual thing so I could talk to you, because I just enjoy talking with you. And all the best to the Lancers. We got Paul VI, and then maybe RBC SJV4.
Yeah, we got work in front of us, but I appreciate all the work you do personally and everything you guys do at the Sports Zone just to promote us, promote the girls, and to grow the game out, because it's nothing like turning on professional highlights for the kids. And I'm going to be honest, my alumni, Zoe Puro, sits on the bench and still pulls out highlights and shows the girls from like when she was in high school 8 years ago, and they just all have fun with it. But I'm telling you, what you're doing is impactful for these kids and young adults, I guess. Moving on, so cool stuff.
Thank you so much. It's funny. I saw your daughter Sarah at Brookdale. I meant to go over and say hi. I should have, but I can remember when I saw her, because I haven't seen her in a long time, the image of her as a freshman at Manasquan making those free throws. I felt a little old because Sarah's all grown up now, had an incredible career at Fordham. So it's funny you say that, because when I saw her in the corner of my eye, I said, oh my gosh, that's Sarah Karpell. And I could still remember her. That's probably the first interview she ever did.
Yeah, 14 years old in braces, and we have it. We have it for a lifetime, so it's unbelievable.
Oh, that's so cool. Well, Coach, best of luck. I look forward to seeing you in person soon, and thanks for taking some time with us.
Thanks for having us. Thank you. Thanks so much.
If you have chronic joint or back pain, this is probably where you spend your time. Might we suggest a better destination that's close to home? RWJ Barnabas Health, where orthopedic surgeons designed the surgical implants that are now used around the world, and where you'll be cared for by the same doctors that treat professional athletes and rising stars. Get back to what you've been missing. Orthopedic care. Do it right. Here. RWJ Barnabas Health.
For over 2 decades, ACI Medical and Dental School at Eatontown has been helping students succeed. Their short-term programs can jumpstart a long-term career in less than 5 months with a 90% employment rate. Best of all, your future job is AI-proof. A career in the medical field is safe from AI and provides long-term job security. ACI Medical and Dental School features a medical assistant program where you can learn phlebotomy, EKG, and patient care technician skills, in addition to a dental assistant program that includes dental radiology certification. Call 732-440-4110 and learn how medical assistants can earn up to 4 national credits and 10 college credits. ACI Medical and Dental School, a new beginning on Broad Street in Eatontown. A lot of times I have the crystal ball out and I can tell you what the ACI Medical and Dental School games of the week are upcoming, but as the brackets unfold and play themselves out, I can say this: we're going to pick some sectional basketball championships associated with the GMC of the Shore Conference. Those are going to be our ACI Medical and Dental School games of the week. So we'll be there for some big-time championship moments. Big thanks once again to Frank Preston and everyone over at ACI Medical and Dental School. They've been a big supporter of Jersey Sports Zone. We're able to do so many great things because of our sponsors, and we thank ACI Medical and Dental School for their continued support. We'll be back right after this. Princeton Orthopedic Associates serves Central Jersey with world-class, world-recognized orthopedic care. A special thanks to Bill Heinsick and Princeton Orthopedic Associates for supporting New Jersey athletes and Jersey Sports Zone for the last 9 years.
It's really nice to be in a situation, in a place where there are very good people who take good care of people.
Orthopedics is it's not about saving lives, it's about saving quality of life.
A lot of people, we live high-stress lives, so if you tell someone they can't do something for whatever reason, that's pretty traumatic.
I really take pride in trying to be empathetic and trying to put myself in every patient's shoes.
I want to take care of people like I'd want to take care of my family, and I think that when you do that and give somebody that family feeling and give them your honest opinion for what you would do, they value that.
Welcome back to the Beyond the Score podcast. It's great once again to have the principal owner of Jersey Sports Zone, Dale Florio. Had so much fun a few weeks back. He had to jump in and grab the rundown one more time. So, Dale, great to have you there. That's the Trenton office, right?
I'm in the Trenton office today, so believe me, I'm ready to quit my day job. I mean, high school sports is my passion here. So it's great to be back with you, Rich. Hope to do many more of these.
Absolutely. Well, we're in the eye of the storm right now. So much going on. So I'm going to turn the rundown over to you, and a lot of great stuff to talk about in this week's podcast.
Well, listen, Atlantic City, is known for a lot of different things, but it's certainly become the capital of wrestling when it gets to this time of year, right? Now we've got the MAC tournament has signed a 5-year contract at the Boardwalk in its first weekend in March, and then this year's state wrestling has had to move back 1 week, but that's okay, right? And then with the schedule change, what will that mean? Will they move? Will it change? I hope they don't, right? I think we need to keep it in Atlantic City and Boardwalk Hall, but I don't know. What are you hearing, Rich?
Well, what I'm hearing is why I put this at the top of the rundown, Dale, is I'm concerned that there is talk that even a possibility, I think, scares me that they could move wrestling out of Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City. I don't think there's any circumstance where that can happen. I'm screaming from the rooftops here that the state wrestling tournament has to stay at Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City. I've been able to be fortunate enough to cover a lot of high school sporting events all around the country, and I think the setting for the New Jersey State Championships when it comes to individual wrestling is one of the best spectacles in all of high school sports in America. So I am terrified at the prospect that this could leave. To me, this would be like the Red Sox not playing at Fenway Park or the Chicago Cubs not playing at Wrigley Field. And I think I have the back of the entire wrestling community. I can't think of one wrestler who would say, "Yeah, we can leave it Atlantic City."
I'm sure. And listen, I think it's great for Atlantic City that the MAC has signed a 5-year deal. That's really great. I think the NJSIAA needs to be a little flexible here, right, and keep it in Atlantic City. So I think we need to start a grassroots movement, and we need to get coaches to weigh in on this. That's the only way you make it happen. It's iconic, right? Wrestling there is as iconic as the building itself.
And I think, there's a couple of ways to play it. The one way could be, hey, do we have it, midweek? My personal opinion would be, let's move it up earlier. Why couldn't it be the week before the MAC? These kids have to, you got to remember the sacrifice that every athlete makes during a season. These kids have to make weight for months at a time. So extending it a week is a great challenge for these kids. You know, these poor kids, as soon as the season's over, they're going to a steakhouse and getting some food in them because they're always battling to keep weight. So I would think moving the season up a little bit earlier would be perfectly fine. But I just thought it was really important because the buzz is around about what's going to happen. This year's fine. It's going to be a week later, but the MAC is here to stay for the next 5 years, and we need to keep wrestling in Atlantic City. I knew that you would be on board with that as well.
Every young wrestler talks about getting to Atlantic City, right? We need to keep that as the goal. But let's move on to one of New Jersey's finest here, and that's Tanner Hodgins.
And your winner at 190 pounds from Howell, Tanner Hodgins.
Right, he's moving up a weight class. He's made a commitment to Oklahoma State. He's ranked 9th in the country at 190. And he won the district at 215. I mean, what do you think his prospects are?
Well, what's interesting about this, Dale, is we've seen him have a national reputation at 190 pounds, and just before the individual tournament starts, great Joe Zadalis at NJ.com had this scoop that Hodges was moving up from 190 to 215, and this certainly, disrupts a little bit of brackets. It's hard to figure out. Hodges has been wrestling nationally as a 190 guy. He's just fine at 215. The way wrestling works, if you're not a diehard, there's three rungs to the ladder. So this past weekend was the districts. If you finish in the top 4, you go to the regions. Finish in the top 4 of the regions, you're on your way to Atlantic City. So Hodges bumping up to 215. No surprise there, winning the district. He suddenly becomes a state title contender in a different weight class. So that's what makes this interesting. He is like so many of our nationally ranked guys, Dale, he is a specimen, number one. He's a great kid, and it's going to be very interesting to see. But it was a little bit of a curveball. We follow these rankings, especially in January leading up to AC, and then out of nowhere we see Tanner Hodges bumping up. And so that's something to be watching out for. So best of luck to all the wrestlers this weekend. This is a huge weekend for high school wrestling because if you finish in that top 4, you get to wrestle at Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City. And that means you're one of the 32 finalist wrestlers in this state in your weight class. And we talked about it last week on the podcast, Dale. I believe it's us and California are the only 2 states that do it Hoosier style, to go back to basketball, where there's just one state champion. One state champion in the class. It makes it special. It makes it hard. And so best of luck to all the wrestlers this week who will, a lot of them hopefully will see their dreams come true. And then we'll be in Atlantic City the weekend after that.
Yeah, that's really exciting. Let's move over to football. And this is, we always enjoy talking about these high school players that we follow that, have a great college career. And then, they get to the pros or they have an opportunity. Well, we've got 3 now that were on the all-zone team. And we're in Indianapolis this past week, right?
Yeah, the pro football fans, they get a little bummed out after the Super Bowl, and this is kind of the first big event leading up to the draft. And if you're getting an invite to the NFL Draft Combine, you are very much on the radar to hear your name called and to get your professional dreams to come true. These 3 guys are doing a great job climbing up the draft board. Chase Basantis, look, the best thing to say is when we pick our players of the year, it is very rare for an offensive lineman to be in the mix for player of the year in the entire state. Right. Chase Basantis was one of our Zoman finalists. So he looked like an NFL lineman 4 years back at Don Bosco. So he's had a great career at Texas A&M, playing in the SEC. He had a great work out there in Indy. Davis Igbinosun, originally a commit to Rutgers, worked his way to Ohio State. We've seen him make plays, won a national championship, not this year, but the previous year with Ryan Day. He ran a 4.45 40, Dale, in Indy. that's usually a pretty good indication that you're going to get a nice paycheck and you're going to get your name called in the NFL draft. And Kyle Lewis, a guy who played at the University of Pittsburgh, he's a guy that has turned heads. He was a guy that was getting invites. He went to the Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama, and you just saw it all over Twitter like, hey, look at this guy. And as soon as I saw the name, I said, that's East Orange's Kyle Lewis right there. He had another great workout. So a lot of buzz around these three guys, and it's exciting to see what's going to come. You don't want to jinx anything. Anything can happen in the draft, but I think we're going to see these three guys have their pro dreams come true in late April and hear their name called as an NFL draft pick, which is so hard to do. And it's going to be amazing to see, three guys that we all know really well here at Jersey Sports Zone get that chance at the pro opportunity.
I'd love to see when somebody just puts in that work and they can get to this point in their career. It's really exciting. It's fun to watch. But believe it or not, Rich, some people were playing baseball this week, right?
That's right.
I think the snow is just about gone here in New Jersey, but my guess is it may be back. But there was baseball being played. So we had A.J. Gracia out of Vianney. He had 6 homers in the last 7 games at Virginia, right? 6 homers in the last 7 games. Then you had Chris Lavonis out of CBA. 6 innings, no hits, no walks. Actually hit 100 miles per hour on the meter for Wake Forest. And then Aiden Stiglitz out of Ridge, he combined with a no-hitter for Elon. I mean, I think the season just started, and these kids are crushing it.
Unbelievable, Dale. So we talked a few weeks back about A.J. Gracia. He is a guy that is in the mix to be a top 10 pick in the draft this year. He is spent some time at Duke. His coach went from Duke to Virginia. He followed his coach to Virginia. He's got an absolutely breathtaking left-handed swing, and AJ is a guy that the scouts are going to come watch those Virginia baseball games, and it's not a matter of if, it's where he's going to be drafted, and he's going to be a phenomenal pick. For Chris Lavonis, what was interesting was he was drafted a couple of years back in the second round by the Brewers, got offered a very nice signing bonus, decided that he wanted to go to Wake Forest. He's got the fastest pitch recorded in college baseball right now at 100.4 miles per hour.
That's crazy.
Now, he dipped down over the weekend, Dale. He only threw 100.2 miles per hour. But he, threw 6 perfect innings, and great job by the Wake Forest people to not let him go for a perfect game this early in the season. He's on a pitch count, and they shut him down.
Good.
But to think about that is absolutely incredible. So Lavonis at Wake Forest, Gracia at Randy, and then last year, this is amazing. We're running out there to Ridge High. I shot Aiden Stiglitz a couple of times myself, and you got to kind of do a double take because in your head you're like, maybe he's still in high school. And then I saw him at Elon getting a combined no-hitter. So this is a great way for us to segue to our Blast from the Past segment, brought to you by the Heldrich. And I know, Dale, you were the guy, the catalyst to bring in the Heldrich as a sponsor. So let's take a minute to thank them for supporting New Jersey high school sports. A great place if you're a Rutgers fan or you have family coming in to see Rutgers, to go stay at the Heldrich Hotel. It's a beautiful hotel, real close to campus. But thank them for sponsoring this Blast of the Past segment. I said we don't have to go too deep in the archives to get some Aiden Stiglitz.
It's time for another Blast from the Past, brought to you by the Heldrich, New Brunswick's only 4-star hotel.
Welcome to Blast from the Past. I'm Tyler Miraz. Aiden Stiglitz continues to build his impressive resume. The Elon freshman tossed 7 2/3 of no-hit innings in the Phoenix's first combined no-hitter since 2017. It's the second straight year that Stiglitz has been a part of a combined no-hitter, as he contributed to Ridge's combined no-hitter in 2025. Stiglitz got the job done for Ridge in their 6-1 win over Hunterdon Central. The then senior pitched 6 innings, gave up no hits, and punched out 10. Stiglitz would go on to finish his senior season with a 0.79 ERA.
Blast from the Past is brought to you by the Heldrich, New Brunswick's only 4-star hotel and a preferred hotel of Rutgers football fans since 2005. The Heldridge helps you make the most of your game day weekend, providing premium accommodations in the cultural heart of downtown New Brunswick. Restaurants, bars, theaters, parks, museums, and more are only steps away. Whether you're traveling alone or with a large group, book your stay at the Heldridge and make the most of your game day weekend.
It's official. Jack Hughes has signed on the dotted
Superstar
line.
Jack Hughes has just inked a new deal.
He's on our team now, baby. He's locked in.
Jack Hughes has signed with a new team. Because Jack knows if he wants to go unchecked on the ice, he needs to get checked by the pros off the ice.
Get checked.
Dream big, they say. We say dream bigger. Over 3 million square feet of bigger, so you can plunge deeper. Play in the snow longer. Wonder greater. Pose with your friends sillier. Shop with your family happier. Make every meal tastier. And float higher than ever. Whatever your dream is, come live it big time at American Dream.
Well, I mean, people start talking about March Madness, but that also applies to high school basketball in New Jersey, right? So we're in the thick of things now, and state tournament play. Now, big game on Thursday, CBA hosting St. Peter's. That's another big one. And, of course, section champs this Friday and Saturday. I hope you've cloned yourself and the other members of the JSZ team, Rich. I don't know how you guys are going to cover them all.
I talked about it at the top of the show, Dale. It's hard for us to kind of get the tea leaves out here because we tape on a Monday, podcast comes out on a Wednesday. All the big games going on are Tuesday and on Wednesday, and that sets the stage for section championships on Friday and Saturday. One matchup we know we've got, which is, I think, going to be fantastic, is St. Peter's Prep at CBA. That's a section semifinal on Thursday in Lincroft. St. Peter's Prep, to me, has one of the great backcourts of the last 5 or so years with Richie Rosa and Mason Santiago. They were the team that gave Bergen Catholic the toughest go of things, right? So they gave Bergen Catholic a scare. I think a lot of people would like to see Bergen St. Peter's again for the state title, but St. Peter's has to go to CBA, and if they were somehow able to win in Lincroft, then they got to turn around and probably face Paul VI. So that's a gauntlet right there. That's a tough road. So I'm excited to see how that game shakes out. I'll be at that one. We got the hockey semifinals on Thursday, so we'll find out who's going to the Prudential Center, and we're gonna certainly get to as many games as we possibly can, and someday, Dale, we're going to get a camera on your shoulder there so we can have even bigger numbers during this time of year.
For all you viewers out there, I've threatened Rich that I'm going to take a camera and roam the sidelines. We'll see.
It's got to happen someday.
Well, speaking of roaming the sidelines, the podcast, just with all the excitement it's generated since we started back in September, is going to go on the road, right? They want us on the road. So the podcast will be, you guys will be out at Prudential Center for the State Hockey Championships next week. And then in April, and this is exciting, right? We're going to be at Dick's Sporting Goods, what they call the Dick's House of Sport in Jersey City. Really looking forward to that one, Rich.
Yeah, what a great partnership with Dick's. We're excited to showcase, I've been to a million Dick's Sporting Goods in my life. I think we all have, right? You got to go, get the equipment, get the shorts, get whatever you need. It's just a no-brainer. The last time I was there, I needed a pump for the game balls, our game balls that we handed out. I was like, I got to just run over to Dick's and grab the pump. So this House of Sport is the Dick's Sporting Goods on steroids. So I'm looking forward to seeing it up close and personal in Jersey City. We are working on securing some guests so we can really start ramping it up and promoting it. So got a lot of things lined up. Just got to get them reeled in here. So I think next week, hopefully on the podcast, we can announce who's going to be there and the exact date and all that sort of good stuff. Before that, hey, we taped the podcast on Monday. We got 4 state championships on Monday. Let's do it at the Prudential Center. So we're going to get some of our friends from the Devils to help us out. I thought about it. I always see Colleen McGuire there. Maybe I can get a couple of minutes with Colleen. We could just talk about some of the things. I could tell her to make sure that we're going to keep wrestling in Atlantic City.
Amen. Yes.
So I'm really excited about that. You know, the Devils are a great partner with us, so I'm excited to go to the Prudential Center. This will be our first try at this, Dale, where we're and by the way, we're going to do 4 state championship games at the same time. So this is going to be a great challenge for us. But I'm excited to mix things up here on the podcast. So we've got a couple of road trips ahead of us.
And I don't want to tease the viewers, but based on the list we have for the Dick's House of sports in Jersey City, if we can get some of these folks to come through, it'll be quite a lineup. So we're really looking forward to seeing how that comes together. So.
Absolutely. Well, Dale, I appreciate you taking the time as always. Great rundown this week. Again, I think next week is going to be a wild week for us. We're always excited about it, and we'll have you back here real soon. If I could tear you away from the office, I'd have you come to the state championships with us on Monday. But we're going to have you back here real soon.
We'll work something out. Always good to be with you, Rich.
Comprehensive, academic, and award-winning. New Jersey deserves nothing less. Learn more at rwjbh.org/US News.
JAG Physical Therapy is a trusted name in quality treatment. Get back the life you love. Thanks to JAG Physical Therapy for supporting New Jersey athletes and Jersey Sports Zone for the last 5 years.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Get back the life you love.
So to recap next week, what a monster week here at Jersey Sports Zone. Monday, hockey state championships. Tuesday, Wednesday, we're going to have state semifinals. Thursday, non-public basketball state championships. Saturday, wrestling state championships, Atlantic City. Saturday, basketball state championships at Rutgers, and then more state basketball championship coverage on Sunday from Rutgers University. We will get to as many things as we possibly can. Make sure you visit jerseysportszone.com each and every day, where we'll have highlights, features, post-game interviews, and so much more as we capture the final chapters of the 2026 winter sports season. And a reminder, we appreciate everyone taking some time to listen and watch our podcast every week. You can get it. The simplest thing to do is just go to jerseysportszone.com, click on that big blue watch the podcast. You can watch it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you get podcasts. All you have to do is type in Jersey Sports Zone in the search bar, and we will pop right up. Please subscribe. Please continue to watch. And thanks again to RWJ Barnabas Health for allowing us to talk New Jersey high school sports each and every week. I'm Rich Krampanis. Thanks so much for checking out episode 24. We'll see you next week with a state championship edition from the Prudential Center in Newark.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.